everyone, today we're going to make a super fun steak and blue cheese pizza. So we've got all of our ingredients here and I'll yell them out as I go along, or you can look in the description for them. I've got my pizza dough made, and so just use your favorite pizza dough. I like making this pizza dough with honey. It's a Ricardo recipe, but make whatever kind of pizza dough you'd like, or get the ones in a bag in the grocery store, whatever you'd like. So first of all, we're going to caramelize some onions. So we will put our pan on medium-high, and we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of butter, and then we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of oil too. So that'll be good. And then I have 3 onions that we're going to caramelize today for our pizza. And so these onions I just chopped up, so they're all nice and ready to go. So we'll melt the butter and oil together, and then we'll dump our onions in. The oil is bubbling and ready to go, so I'm going to dump our 3 chopped onions into the butter oil mixture. I'm going to stir it till it coats all of the onions. And then we're going to turn it to medium. So we'll just let this sit and brown and caramelize. It should take about half an hour theoretically to caramelize fully. So we will stir it every once in a while and just keep an eye on it and make sure it's not burning. If it starts to look a little bit dry, we'll just dump some water or chicken broth in it, whatever you have. I'll probably just do water because I'm going to be adding a lot of salt later. While that's going on, we're going to take our lovely pizza stone and we're going to add some ham to it. And so I would put some ham on it, and then put some, what is it, like the corn, it's not corn flour, but it's like the crunchy corn thing. Corn starch is more like corn flour, it might be corn flour. And anyway, we will grab our nice pizza dough, and we will put it on our oiled and corn flour sprinkled pizza pan. Perfect time to do some tricks if you know any. I do not. So I'm just going to give it a nice little gravity stretch. And we'll put it on the pizza pan and roll it up. got the pizza dough all spread out, and the onions have been cooking for quite a while now, so they're looking nice and brown. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a little bit of sugar to it to make it a little more caramely. So it'll be about a teaspoon of sugar, and then I'm just going to add that in and keep on stirring and adding water until they're all caramelized. The onions are looking great. I just threw in a little bit of Montreal steak spice in there when I added the sugar, and they are looking wonderful. So you can take these out now and make it a one-pan recipe, but I am just going to let them keep going for a bit more and add my filleted steak to another pot. So I'm just going to add a little bit more water, keep these onions nice and moist, and then heat some butter in this new pan. We're going to do our other 2 tablespoons of butter, melt that, and then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of oil into there as well. So we'll just melt that on medium. We're adding our steak. So now that our butter and oil is all melted and mixed together and our pan's on medium, we're going to add 2 cups of cut up blade steak. I just cut them into strips and then cut the strips into thirds, so they're kind of like little chunks to eat. You can use whatever steak you'd like in whatever shape you want, but that's what I'm going with. So we're going to use about 2 cups of that and just sear them just a little bit because we don't want them fully cooked through because they'll bake off in the oven when we're doing our pizza. Just going to add a little nice sear to them, and that'll be it. We'll add the rest of our Montreal steak spice, so about another 2 teaspoons or so of that into our steak mix. This will make some nice buttery steak bites from the top of our pizza. So I'd be preheating your oven to 450, and then it should be ready by the time everything else is ready. Now our steak is cooked pretty rare, and then our onions look beautifully caramelized, so we should be ready to start assembling our pizza. So we're going to start off with the base of barbecue sauce. Use whatever kind you'd like. I'm just using original. And we'll spread that around. So this is about half a cup of barbecue sauce. You can add a little bit more if you'd like. Looks good so far. And now we're going to add all of our caramelized onions. I love onions, but if you want less, you can definitely add less. I just really like them, so I put a ton on my pizza. So when you're going to make your own pizza, you're going to do whatever you want to it. now that we got an excessive and ridiculous amount of onions on there, I'm going to add about 3 cups of pizza mozzarella cheese. So if this was a pepperoni pizza, I'd be adding way more cheese, or like a meats pizza. But since this is a steak and blue cheese pizza, I'm just going to add this much cheese because we will be adding our lovely steak and a whole 1/4 cup of blue cheese to it. Oh, oven's preheated, that's great. And now I'm just going to grab some tongs and get our steaks out. So we'll go and add a whole bunch of steak to our pizza. The steak does look better in nice long strips, but I did it like this because when I'm eating the pizza, like I find if it's a long strip, you kind of like pull all the toppings when you just take a bite out of a corner of a strip of steak. So that's why I decided to do it into little chunks, because then it's easier for me to eat afterwards. So that's good. There we go. And now we're going to add a whole 1/4 cup of blue cheese. So I'm just going to crumble it up with the knife and sprinkle it on. Maybe a fork would be better. that's a fairly even distribution of cheese. So now we've got our pizza ready for the oven. So I've got it on the middle rack at 450 and I'm going to keep it in there for about 20 minutes or until it's all nice and golden brown. So I'll see you then. The pizza looks done, so let's take it out of the oven. Very nice. Check that out. Looks great with all the steak and blue cheese. And the bottom is nice and golden brown. You can cook it a little bit longer if you want, but that is just about good for me. And so, let's give it a cut, because I don't like waiting for cutting. Alright, so I got my pizza cutter. Let's give this a nice slice. There we go. Looking good. So let's plate it up and eat it. Alright, so I've cut up the pizza and plated it, and I'm just going to drizzle some HP on it. You can drizzle HP, you can drizzle blue cheese, whatever you feel like you can drizzle. But I'm going to drizzle HP and then try it. Now it's cooled off slightly. So hot but so delicious, and the HP really gives it a nice tang. So I definitely highly recommend this, and I hope to see you next week when I make cookie pizza. Bye!